Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I ombre using pigments, and then I finished this design off with a little bit of stamping. So super simple but super fun to do. I'm going to start off by using Kiki London's Coconut. This is a super bright white gel polish, and I do find I only need one coat of this if I'm using it as a base for nail art. So I'm going to come in and do one thin coat of this, making sure it's a really nice and even coat. You want to make sure there's no lumps or bumps in the gel polish because we're going to be putting our pigments over the top. So I then pop that in to cure for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to come in with my pigments. So I'm using a fluffy dusty brush for this. I think this was actually just an eyeshadow brush, and I'm starting off by dipping into the pink, focusing a lot of the pigment on the tip of the nail and then blending it up into the center of the nail, just so that it doesn't leave a harsh line, it fades out a little bit. Then I've brushed off that pink, and now I'm dipping into the purple. I did pick up a lot of the purple, and I did feel as though this would be the more pigmented color of the two, so I didn't want to have too much on my brush to begin with. Then I'm just doing the same as what I did with the pink, starting at the cuticle area and taking it down, and then as we get to that center part where the pink and the purple meet, I'm blending them together. And then I did just come in with a little bit more here and there of the pink and the purple just to perfect that blend. Now, this was my first attempt of doing an ombre with pigments, and I have to say it was fairly easy to do. I literally just applied my gel polish, left it with that tacky layer, and then I've pressed those pigments into that tacky inhibition layer that the gel polish leaves. And because they're pigment powders, they blend together really, really easily. I would just say use a little bit at a time, so you don't need to come in with loads of pigment on your brush. You can just come in with a little bit and then add more when it's needed to build up the coverage and perfect the blend. So once I was happy with that blend, I'm going to come in and top coat. Now I would recommend having a separate top coat for your pigments, just so that you don't contaminate it, because you are probably going to get a little bit of pigment in this top coat. So you don't want to be using a top coat that you're going to need to use again over a set of nails. So I keep a top coat separate that I use for pigments and chromes and things like that. So to finish off the design, I wanted to add on some stamping. So I've cleaned off my plate to begin with some alcohol. I've applied a generous amount of white stamping polish. Then I'm just going to take my stamper and roll across that image. Then I like to take a lint roller and just remove any excess parts that the stamper has picked up. So just remove them so that you don't end up stamping them down. Then I'm just going to apply a gentle amount of pressure and wriggle my stamper from side to side. And as you'll see, that image transferred absolutely perfectly. I'm really loving the clear jelly stamper. It's been a game changer for me. I've always preferred the jelly style stampers, but the clear jelly one has been even better to use compared to some of the other ones that I've used. I'm then going to clean off my plate with some alcohol again, ready for the second design. You want to make sure you remove any stamping polish that's been left on your plate, otherwise it can affect your next image. Then I applied quite a bit of stamping polish to this one, so I did double scrape just to make sure that I'd removed a lot of the excess. Then again here, using my lint roller just to remove those excess images that we've picked up. And as you can see there on the stamper, the image has picked up really, really well. I do find that once you've got the image on your stamper, you can slow down a little bit. You do need to be quite quick when you're doing stamping in those first few steps, but once you've got your image on the stamper head itself, you can slow down a little bit when it comes to removing the excess. I always have the same routine when it comes to pressing down the image. So I press straight down and then just give my stamper a little wriggle from side to side just to make sure that it's made good contact with the nail, and then the image transfers perfectly. So we're then going to come and seal in our stamping. So I'm coming in again with a no wipe gel top coat, just applying a thin coat of this to the entire nail. And then I'm going to pop that in to cure for 60 seconds. And this, guys, was the finished result. So short and sweet, but I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Then I shall hopefully see you again in the next video. Lots of love. Bye bye.